6 of them jolted upright at once, screaming the same string of numbers into the dark. Not similar numbers, identical. Same digits, same order, torn from 6 throats that had lain silent in cryo for 11 years. The medbay filled with alarms. Frost still clung to their eyelashes as they gasped the sequence again and again, eyes open, but seeing something none of us could. Then, one by one, they stopped, and couldn't remember why. I was on watch. Mara Okonkwo, third shift navigator, the only officer thawed for the long transit. I don't dream in cryo. I never have. Which is why, that night, I felt strangely, stupidly left out. Cryosleep was supposed to be nothing. Metabolism slowed to a candle flicker, years pressed into a single heartbeat, cold enough to pause a life without ending it. Nobody truly knows what the sleeping mind does down there. We'd assumed nothing, so the numbers landed on me. Ship's protocol says the waking navigator investigates anomalies. I told myself it was a shared nightmare, a glitch in the rewarming. I even believed it for about an hour. I wrote the sequence on the glass, 12 digits, a colon, 6 more. Staring at it, my stomach turned over. I'd seen that shape before, not as a dream, as an address, right ascension, declination, sky coordinates, the way astronomers name a direction on the great sphere around us. The screaming crew hadn't shouted gibberish, they'd shouted a place in the heavens, but a coordinate like that is only an angle, a finger pointing outward. It tells you which way to look, never how far. Somewhere along that line, something or nothing. The numbers don't say. I slewed the optical array to the heading. My hands were steady, my pulse was not. The dish groaned, turned, locked, and I leaned into the feed, certain I'd find a star nobody had bothered to name. Black. Not faint, not distant. Black. No star, no smudge of gas, no cataloged object within a degree. The most shouted coordinate in the history of this ship pointed at a pocket of pure, patient nothing. There are honest answers for that. Stars drift. Over 11 years of travel, a target moves. Light arrives late. A coordinate fixed at departure aims where a thing used to be, not where it waits now. And empty is rarely empty. A rogue planet with no sun to light it. A brown dwarf, barely warm. A cold, drifting mass of a collapsed star that swallows its own glow. Plenty hides in the dark. I logged all of it. Proper motion, light delay, an unlit body off the charts. Rational, tidy, comforting. I closed the file and told myself the matter was settled. I was good at telling myself things. But the tidy answers explained the where. They didn't touch the how. How 6 sleeping strangers, wired to nothing, sharing no wall, reached the same 18 digits in the same instant. Precise, simultaneous, screaming. Psychology has a name for it. Shared physiological stress, identical cold, identical stimulus. Minds under the same pressure can converge on the same shape. People dream in chorus more often than we admit. It fit. Almost. Almost. Because chorus gives you a mood, an image, a fear. It doesn't give you 18 exact digits, error-free from people who'd never studied the sky. The explanation held everything but the one thing that mattered. On the 9th day, a 7th sleeper woke. Same numbers. But she added something the others hadn't. 3 more digits at the end. A distance. Suddenly, the finger had a length, and it pointed to a specific dark. I should have flagged the command deck. Instead, I sat with the figure alone, chewing my own certainty. I'm a rational woman. I don't believe in signals from the void, and yet, I couldn't stop looking at it. I stayed awake past my shift, then past the next. I watched that black patch on the feed for hours, waiting for it to blink, to move, to admit it was something. It only watched back. Then I did the arithmetic I'd been avoiding. The new distance, our speed, our bearing, and the floor seemed to tilt beneath me. The coordinate wasn't a place out there to observe, it was ahead. On our line, I pulled the flight plan, overlaid the sleeper's heading against our own. They did not merely cross, they matched. To 4 decimals, the point every dreamer screamed was the exact spot our ship was bound to arrive. Not where we were pointed, where we were going. 11 years back, someone set this course, and somehow, Folded in the cold, a part of the crew already knew the address of our destination, and it terrified them. So which was it? A warning, look here, turn away. Or a summons, this is where you come. Out here, a direction is never just a direction. A heading can be a message. Ours had a voice, and it was our own. I logged the heading. I did not change it. I couldn't justify a course change on a nightmare, and I couldn't shake the feeling that the nightmare had justified itself. The black point stays black. We keep flying at it. Every sleep cycle since, a few more wake already knowing the numbers. I haven't dreamed them yet. Part of me is still relieved. Part of me lies awake, waiting for my turn, and wondering what I'll say when it comes.